was deified. The clans tell tales of him. Few know the truth. He was mortal once, as were we all. However, his contempt for humanity drove him to create me and my brethren. I am Raziel, firstborn of his lieutenants. I stood with Kain and my brethren at the dawn of the Empire. I have served him a millennium. Over time, we became less human and more divine. Kain would enter the state of change and emerge with a new gift. Some years after the Master, our evolution would follow, until I had the honor of surpassing my lord. For my transgression, I earned a new kind of reward. Agony. There was only one possible outcome. Eternal damnation. I, Raziel, was to suffer the fate of traitors and weaklings, to burn forever in the bowels of the lake of the dead. Cast him in. Tumbling, burning with white-hot fire, I plunged into the depths of the abyss. Unspeakable pain, relentless agony. Time ceased to exist. Only this torture and a deepening hatred of the hypocrisy that damned me to this hell. An eternity passed, and my torment receded, bringing me back from the precipice of madness. The descent had destroyed me, and yet I lived.
Raziel, you are worthy. I know you, Raziel. You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Raziel. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Kain's abominations traps the essence of life. It is this soul that animates the corpse you lived in. And that, Raziel, is the demise of Nosgoth. There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot spin them in the wheel of fate. They cannot complete their destinies. Redeem yourself. Or if you prefer, avenge yourself. Settle your dispute with Kain. Destroy him and your brethren. Free their souls and let the wheel of fate churn again. Use your hatred to reave their souls. I can make it possible. Become my soul Reaver, my angel of death.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm NoGod21. Welcome to Let's Play Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver! The sequel slash not sequel of Blood Omen. Because Blood Omen 2 exists. But that's later on the pipeline. Anyway, some background information is needed to understand the storyline of this game in the Legacy of Kain universe. After the quote-unquote bad ending, because the good ending of Blood Omen requires Kain to sacrifice himself. Anyway, after Kain decided to not sacrifice himself to restore the Pillars of Nosgoth, he created his own empire of vampires. And basically took over the entirety of Nosgoth. Fantastic. He also sired some vampire progeny of his own, resulting in his lieutenants, which this poor sod Raziel was a part of. Now, because of the vampire physiology in Legacy of Kain, after a certain amount of time, usually a century or more, the vampire undergoes an evolutionary change. Typically, this results in pterodactyl-style claws, the clawed feet, and in Kain's case, you notice that his skin looked different than the last time we saw him. That's because he evolved to become have an immunity to sunlight. Yeah, the skin turned rock texture, and now he's immune to sun damage. Fantastic. He also wears Vorador's ring as an earring. Excellent. Now, Raziel evolved to grow a set of wings, and Kain was not happy that Raziel got those, so, as you saw in the cutscene, ripped them right off, leaving the shred of the membrane. That must have been extremely painful. And as such, in addition to that, adding insult to injury, Raziel was cast into, essentially, the Abyss. A giant whirlpool of water of damned souls. We're stuck in the underworld now. And since water is very acidic to vampires, Raziel's body, while technically alive, lost the majority of its muscle mass, its organs, its skin for the most part. Seriously, Raziel is nothing but bone and muscle tissue. It's kind of badass, but extremely creepy at the same time. Now then, I am playing the Dreamcast version right out to start. Reason why? The PlayStation version has some emulation bugs that I don't know if they were ever fixed, where the textures would become spongy and really fucked up, so I don't want to deal with that. You can get the PC version on GOG. The problem with that is, well, the controller support for the GOG version requires you to have a specific kind of controller, because X input and D input have some compatibility issues. Let's just say running an X input controller like I'm doing caused some problems, which resulted in me checking on the forums and downloading a third-party file from a Japanese, or was it Chinese? Some Asian website, which is never a smart thing to do. So I'm playing the Dreamcast version, which essentially is the best looking out of all the versions. Go figure. And so far the one that's the most stable for me. Well, the PC version's the most stable, but whatever. This one looks nicer, which is ironic. PC Master Race my ass. Anyway, I'm just doing a little test run right now to make sure everything's in sync, because I tried to record this before. I got some desync somehow, I don't know why. But, hey, if it's desynced, I will just have to record this and you will never hear about it again. Anyway, let's move on. The, voice in the, ceiling? There we go. It's both Eleanor. Yeah, we're in the underworld, which is the home of a Cthulhu, Eldritch, Lovecraftian monstrosity known as the Elder God, who spins the wheels of fate and recycles the souls of the living. And since Kain's vampires require the souls of the dead to function properly, where you literally have to split off a portion of your own soul to make a vampire, yeah, he's not very happy. So he saved Raziel, and our job is to kill Kain. A Kain who's much stronger and who can wield the Soul Reaver effortlessly. Oh, this is gonna be harder than it should be. Actually, it's probably gonna be easier than it should be, knowing how game difficulty scales. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's move on. Now, besides the obvious that this is a third-person action platforming game with puzzle-solving elements, I'm probably gonna get lost a lot trying to find my way to go.
These gates twist space, laying a path across great spans.
Because Raziel is classified technically as an undead, even more than a vampire is considered undead, he can't transform at all. Thus, he requires the use of teleportation gates that are basically put in every single key area of the game. So if you want to fast travel, you gotta find one of these gates, activate it, then travel to your destination. There's only a grand total of, let's see, let's see, including this one, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there's 14 areas in total, and 13 of them are levels. Oh, this is gonna take a while for me. Okay. Now it's time to do tutorial bullshit. This is gonna be fun.
You are weak. You must feed.
The old hunger has left me. I have no desire for blood.
You are changed. Your bloodthirst is replaced by a deeper need. You have become a devourer of souls. To sustain your strength, you must hunt the lost spirits of the underworld and consume the souls of your enemies.
Grizzly. So yeah, because Raziel is a wraith, he needs to feed on the souls of the dead to regain health. I can't suck the lifeblood out of everything I come across in this game, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to make do with the soul eating. Jump, jump, hold A to jump higher. Pressure-sensitive jumping controls. Love it. Gotta love the high jump.
Your wings, though ruined, are not without purpose. Take hold of them as you leap, and they will carry you across this chasm.
Yes, somehow, Raziel's able to hold onto the membrane of his wings and glide across gaps. I don't know how that works, but okay. I don't think the membrane of the wings is big enough for that to be
What
effective.
scabrous wretches are these?
Sure, the scavengers of the underworld. Their feral hunger has claimed countless souls, spirits who now shall never find their rest.
Great. Say hello to Sula. Sluka. I have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce it, even though I hear it. Hold R to auto, aim at the enemy, press X to attack. Got a combo system. It's basic as all hell. And by pressing the A button, we're able to dodge in any four directions, front and back. If we do a front dodge, it's an actual attack. Oh, I hate fighting Sula so much. Mainly because they do this when they're all low on health. They run away like a little bitch. And we don't have anything at all to deal with that shit. Yet. We'll solve that as we progress, but this bit is a bitch. Get back here, you son of a bitch. Also doesn't help that Raziel can't actually run while he's auto-aiming. Oh, give me your souls. Okay, you little bastard, where are you? Okay, you son. There you are, you son of a bitch. Thank you. We're gonna be seeing a lot of those bastards. They're the basic cannon fodder of the underworld. And if we hold the L and R buttons, we get a semi-first-person view mode, which allows us to navigate our surroundings in a 180-degree vision. Let's see, 180 degrees left and right. I think it's 90 degrees south, or close to it, and only 45 degrees up. Why did I say south? I meant to say down. Oh boy. And because we're in the spirit world, water has no effect on us, as we'll learn later.
These portals are your conduit between the spectral and material realms. With their aid, you may gather matter and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored. You require no conduit to return to this plane. You may abandon your physical body at any time.
I imagine Raziel had a nifty assortment of vampiric abilities while he's still alive, but since we're now a wraith, we've lost the majority of those abilities. Fantastic. So, well, we can only enter the material realm at full health. Raziel effectively has 2 health bars, one the physical and one the material. And if he dies in the material realm, he goes back to the spirit world.
Sustain your strength to prolong your manifestation in the physical world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve.
Yep. We suffer too much damage, we go back to the spectral realm, which requires us to get more health back to come back. And it looks like Nosgoth has seen better days. If you compare the design of Nosgoth to Blood Omen 1 in this game gives you more of a desolate, apocalyptic, end-of-the-world vibe. A lot of brown and machinery colors. I'm not really a big fan of that.
You are young yet, Raziel. You still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses. Immersion in water, while not fatal, will dissolve your physical body, forcing your return to the spirit world. Be aware that in the spectral realm, water has neither heft nor lift. It stands as thin as air.
Yeah, the spectral realm has different properties to the material, where water doesn't affect you, and the environment can change to aid in puzzle solving and platforming. And unfortunately for Raziel, he did not have the aid of the blood fountains that Kain drank from, otherwise I think we would be immune to water. But hey, at least we're immune to sunlight. No more awkward loading screens.
What are these creatures?
Do you not recognize them? They are the children of your brother, Duma.
That's impossible. These foul, scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high blood.
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel? Much has changed since you passed from the world of men.
Yeah, a couple 100 years, give or take 1,000.
I knew my opponent's weaknesses, having suffered them myself. Physical wounds are fleeting. Vampire's immortal flesh begins to close as soon as it is cleaved. Vampires need only fear those wounds that impale or inflame. Water scorches like acid, and fledglings are devastated by sunlight's touch. I would have to modify my tactics to suit my foes.
Now our first instance of actual combat that gets the majority type of enemies in this game. Rather than fighting a variety of humans and other demons, Raziel mainly fights his, cousins?
Unfettered from the flesh, A creature's soul fades swiftly into the spectral realm. Draw it in quickly, Raziel, or you will be compelled to follow.
Indeed. Let me just take care of this asshole first. That guy ain't going anywhere. Anyway, we're fighting Raziel's former kin. And as he said, vampires are a rather difficult creature to put down permanently. For example, you see that guy on the wall? He'll actually come back to life, believe it or not, if we can figure out how to remove him from the wall. Because impalement is not permadeath for vampires. All you need to do is remove the implement that's impaling them, and they'll come back to life. Unfortunately, I think I missed the chance to get this guy's soul. Unfortunately. Oh well. He can stay there. There's
Your
no...
physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life. Even massive obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
Oh great, we get to move giant objects right off the bat. We don't have to drink from a fountain multiple times. Yay, block puzzles! What we need to do is move this, so we can jump up there because that's too high for us to reach. Now, we hold X, we grab it. We push X, we push it forward. If we crouch and press X, we flip it on its side. Prepare to be doing that a lot. Unfortunately, I don't know of a way to make this faster than it needs to be. Well, time to move on.
My God! The sanctuary of the clans reduced to ruin. Beyond these walls lay the pillars of Nosgoth, the seat of Kain's empire. How humble it now appeared, collapsing into the dust of its former magnificence. And yet, I had only just emerged. In the instant between my execution and resurrection, centuries had apparently passed.
This world is wrecked with cataclysms. The earth strains to shrug off the pestilence of Kain's parasitic empire. The fate of this world was preordained in an instant by a solitary man. Unwilling to martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance, Kain condemned the world to the decay you see. In that moment, the unraveling began. Now it is nearly played out. Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse. Its fragile balance cannot hold.
Yes, because Kain's choice to not kill himself resulted in the balance of Nosgoth being completely out of whack because the pillars are pretty much destroyed. And as a byproduct of their destruction, the world is falling apart, which resulted in the collapse of Kain's empire, and his vampire brood, instead of evolving to advantages constantly, they decide to de-evolve at a certain state. Which is why Raziel didn't recognize these poor sods when he first met them. Kain is a different story because he's the balance guardian, therefore I think his vampirism is affected differently. And is there any place near here that I can... Nope. Where's the nearest fire pit? There it is. Kain's a different story because he's the balance guardian, so I think he's affected a little differently. He's also affected by Nubrafter's corruption still. I have no idea what effects that has on him. Probably makes him a little bit more evil than he needs to be. Yeah, fire is one of those ways where the vampire stays dead no matter what. The decapitation is also a permanent fix. But let's see if I can demonstrate on the poor sod over there. We can actually pick up weapons off the environment, like so. We now have a quarterstaff / spear. Raziel's not effective because, well, before he could go through any sort of de-evolution, if it would even affect him, because he's Kain's firstborn and has the largest portion of Kain's soul, which he used to make the vampires in the first place. Now, watch. Let me demonstrate this. He's impaled, the soul's out, but if I get my weapon back, the soul goes back to his body, he comes back to life. So it's always important that... Oh, we can also throw. So it's pretty much, the combat loop is this. Beat the shit out of them, either impale them or toss them into a pit of fire or water, and drain their souls. Rinse and repeat for multiple enemies, and we're good. Unfortunately for us, we can't exactly go see Kain right now because he's hanging out at the Pillars of Nosgoth, and the door is locked. And there's no way for us to get in there except for this gate over here, which we can't get through because we can't phase through solid matter. Okay, next poor bastard we're gonna impale. And if we hold R to sneak, which is also the auto lock-on button, we walk. And it allows us to sneak on enemies. It allows us to basically do a backstab. Instant kill. For the most part. Excuse me. Who the fuck's talking? Ah, whatever. Anyway. You know, for a bit, I thought I had an emulation bug, actually, where the music would actually repeat on itself, or at least double up on itself, but no. Turns out... Oh, how'd we miss? I actually downloaded the soundtrack for this game, and turns out that for the majority of the music in this game, there's actually a second track, which is the battle music. Which essentially is the theme music for the area, either sped up or extra effects are added. So, that cleared up my confusion on that front. Anyway, my ramblings about useless information. Another teleport room, let's activate it. Because Nosgoth is huge, and these teleporters are very useful to have. I mean, if you want to fight every single enemy that comes across your way and traverse the entire landscape of Nosgoth, go ahead. I can't stop you. I just don't recommend it unless you're doing a collectathon run of all the optional upgrades that you get. It's mainly health, though. Oh, and one unfortunate side effect of going to the teleport room is all the enemies respawn. But we got a weapon, which is only useful in the material realm, so we're good. Because unfortunately, Raziel can't kill enemies with his claws, even though he should be able to. And here's a cool effect.
This, at least, had remained constant. The endlessly swirling vortex of the abyss, my tomb, and the womb of my rebirth. Though much of Nosgoth's landscape had changed, these cliffs gave me my bearings. My clan territory was to the west. I was anxious to see how my descendants had fared during the centuries of my absence.
Raziel, I got a feeling that your clan has suffered a fate that you would not like. Anyway, this is the abyss that we saw in the cutscene. See the effect down there, the whirlpool? It looks cool. Even though it's kind of dated, you can see the lines of where the textures go across. Ironically, the whirlpool is under sound effects, which is nice. Which means I can lower it and not be drowned out. Now, obviously going into deep water makes you going back to the spectral realm. I think, I don't know this for sure, but if you jump and land into the whirlpool itself, you'll head back to the starting area, which is the spectral realm filled with tentacles. And then again, this game also wants you back there because it doesn't have a traditional save system. An improvement. We can save wherever we want. Problem is, Saving the game, then loading that save puts us right back at the start of the game with the room and tentacles. Imagine the save shrines and Blood Omen, but instead of putting you back at the shrine that you saved at, it puts you right back in Kain's mausoleum. It's kind of annoying, especially if you're in the middle of a... Yes, we can pick up torches and use them as a weapon. But I prefer my spear. I'm pretty sure there's a specific name for this thing, but I prefer the spear. The name is spear, anyway. And we got Raziel's theme playing in the background for his clan territory. Nice touch. Quick, thank you very much, good sir. Push away. Now let's see if I can do a neat little trick. Damn it. What I was trying to do was throw the spear and kill him without him being stunned. That can happen, but it's a pain in the ass to do so, apparently.
Utter desolation. My once proud kin wiped from this world like excrement from a boot. I knew the hand that wrought this deed.
Well, Raziel, your clan may be completely destroyed, but, oh wait, you're missing the roof. I was gonna say. Your place survived surprisingly well. So, give me that. You dick. Fuck off, Doom a soldier. Pretty sure you have an official name, but I don't care. You're in my way, therefore you die. Okay, let's go activate the portal now. Oh boy. Unfortunately, I can't use the right stick on my controller for anything. Otherwise, I would have mapped to control the camera, but we ain't that advanced yet. Okay, let's move on. Oh, my neck. What's up, buddy? I'll be taking your soul now. Thank you very much. I need to survive. Fine, I'll use the goddamn torch. On one enemy. Now, the torch is basically a one-shot weapon. Essentially, once you kill someone with it, it is worthless and needs to be thrown away because it's nothing but a useless stick. Now, while I may be armed with a stick, and you may want to run away in fear, because that will be understandable, but the stick is not a very powerful weapon at all. I'd much rather prefer the sharp, pointy, stabby things. Thank you very much. Huh. This poor bastard got torn in half. Literally. And since apparently Juno's kin have frog-like lamprey tongues, it's kind of disturbing, actually. Thank you. Oh boy. So many ways to kill people. Come on, you bastard. Damn it. I missed. Pick up the spear, thank you. No, that was just a raven that was flying. Or something. You motherfucker! For that, discourages bullshit. You get the spear in the chest and get out of here, you stupid pot. Okay, let's flip the switch. I gotta say though, even though Kain's vampiric empire is crumbling to dust, they at least made some technological advantages. Which we'll see as we progress throughout the game, because they become levels.
No! Please!
I didn't recognize these flayed racks of flesh. Their scent was vampiric. They gnawed upon their victim's carcass like dogs.
Ah yes, now we get to meet a new kind of enemy. I like to call them ghouls. I don't know if they're classified as like shambling undead or whatever. But they're the vampires of this area of the game. And they're a sorry, sad lot. Thank you. Sorry, pal. You're human, therefore you're not important. Although they got far on eating into your chest cavity. Holy shit. Am I hearing rattling skeletons? I'm hearing something rattle. Anyway. Oh, we have humans and crossbows. Sorry, pal. I get close to you, you try to shoot that crossbow at me, which is something I can't have you doing.
This charnel house bore the unmistakable marks of Melchiah's clan. To what depths had our dynasty plummeted if these ghouls were the descendants of my high-born brother? Were they so debased as to recruit fledglings from the desiccated corpses here interred?
Yeah. Melchiah's brood, the Malchiam or Malchiam, I'm not sure you're supposed to pronounce it. Unfortunately, Raziel's brood got wiped out, so they didn't have to suffer de-evolution, but every other brood in the game did. Malchiah got the short end of the stick on this one. His brood has devolved into rotting, shambling zombies, whose flesh can't contain the vampiric essence and it's falling apart. Quite a sad state of existence they are in. And I'm just making spoilers left, right, and center. Then again, this is a game that's over... it's either over or close to over 20 years old. So...
My brother Melchiah was made last, and therefore received the poorest portion of Kain's gift. Although immortal, his soul could not sustain the flesh, which retained much of its previous human frailty. This weakness, it seemed, was passed on to his offspring. Their fragile skins barely contained the underlying decay.
Yeah, I'm not sure which piece of media that tells you how vampires are made. It's either Soul Reaver 2, Defiance, Blood Omen 2, or it's one of the tie-in comic books. I don't remember which. But the point is, Kain decided to make some vampire children, his lieutenants in his vampiric army. Raziel was the first to be made, and thus received the greatest portion of Kain's power and soul. And it's probably why Raziel looks the way he does, even after being in the Abyss for so long. It's also probably why he got wings. Kain probably could have probably could have gotten wings, but it probably would have been better if he didn't make vampire kin for that to happen. I'm rambling and speculating. Anyway. Raziel was the first, and he's the strongest out of all the lieutenants. Malchiah was the last, and ironically, the weakest. Go figure. Not ironically, unironically. Suiting. Fitting is the word. However, since Malchiah is the weakest and received the smallest portion of Kain's power and soul, his body could not contain the vampiric essence, which required him to be stitched back together like a corpse. Because his body was literally falling apart and rotting. And the same thing happened to his children. How fitting. And now, get burned. You sack of rotting flesh. You are a disgrace to vampiric kind, therefore your demise is appropriate. I just walked in a circle. Fantastic. Instead of walking into a circle, I should take the door that leads deeper into the territory. Oh god, the stairwells in this game. There's no way you can turn. It's basically an auto path, but if you don't hold straight, it flips out. Oh, excuse me. And let's continue on. In order to make new fledglings, they literally have to be corpses in the ground, otherwise they just die. How sad and pathetic. Vampires have truly fallen low in this age. Instead of evolving into better creatures, they decided to de-evolve. I'm not sure if it's because of the curse that Nutraptor put on Kain, or if it's the way that Kain made his lieutenants that's the problem. Let's not go into the water, because I don't feel like going back into the spectral realm right now. Funny enough, the shambling undead are the weakest, and therefore die the easiest. Of course, they're still deadly monsters. Oh, for... You can't just die. You son of a bitch. Now you're just pissing me off. You know what? You get a special treatment. You get spiked on the wall. I said, you get spiked on the wall. Oh, for fuck's sake. Here, I'll spike you on this wall. Gotta love that. Oh, correct. Yeah, collapse to dust, you miserable pile of flesh. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. I was ranting and raving about evolution, de-evolution, and how fucked up this world has become. I can't help but rant and nag about things I find interesting. Ah, another dead corpse. This time, looks human-ish, but also looks like a vampire. Why is it a black corpse? Yeah, well. Ah! We come across our first hurdle in the material realm. We can't progress forward. But if we go back into the spectral realm, like this...
Beware, Raziel. These wraiths are vampire spirits, fettered too long in the spectral realm. When their vampire natures adapt to this plane, they become eaters of souls. Do not allow these spirits to re-inhabit their corpses.
Yeah, this is what happens when you go into the spectral realm while you haven't drained the souls of any surrounding vampires. You have to face these punks. Come here, souls. I want to You son of a bitch. Best part is, though, Raziel can fight these guys with his hands. Anyway, now that problem is over. Our weapon is floating midair. That'll happen a lot. But the walls have jutted out of the wall. The pillars, not the wall. The pillars have jutted out of the wall, which allows us to climb. And that's how we get up here, which will allow us to get into the next room by crossing over the wall. And some jumping. Oh boy. Because Raziel likes to basically go into sprint mode constantly, I have poor control, typically, of where he's going. Which means I either need to reduce the sensitivity on the control stick, or I need to learn to do more tilt movement. That way I don't fall to my death or have to reduce several thousand hours worth of platforming again. Okay. Thank you, Raziel. Can you please stab your claws into the block? Because we need it to progress. And in you go. And we're good. Now if I can just jump on here. Alright. Very good. Now, the way forward is over there on the other side of the chasm. How do we get across? Well, there's two pulleys here. You step on one, the other rises. So the obvious solution is to lower one, raise one, go back to the spectral realm, get back up here, in the spectral realm, jump across onto the raised one, and jump over to the other side. Since we basically have no weight in the spectral realm, ideally, it should not lower when we jump on it. And this is when the game proves me wrong and decides to fuck me over. But let's just remove this block. And if I remember right, to open up the gate, to make my journey back a little easier, I need to move it over there. And unfortunately, because the pulleys, you can't place it onto the edge and just push it across. No, we gotta do this. And we have to deal with these assholes. Ow. But the game gives us a handy weapon for us. Rather deal with a spectral vampire, I'll just do that. Yoink. Delicious. Rotting flesh. Oh wait, no, wait. Wait a minute. Would the body have an effect on how the soul tastes? Well, there's a philosophical debate that you should have with your local priest and or demon summoner. Does my whoa. Okay, let's not glitch ourselves into the environment, which causes us to have frustrating moments every single time. Thanks, I'd rather not glitch and bug the game out and have to restart an hour's worth of progress because I didn't save. And alright, we have a way back in case we fail to jump onto the upper platform. Fantastic. I'm probably gonna miss it several fucking times because I suck at platforming challenges. Especially in early 3D platformers, where you don't have that much fine control of your momentum. Okay. Any souls wandering around for me to suck on? No? Well, that's disappointing. Oh. Come on, scale the wall, you son of a bitch. There you go. Ah, damn it. I somehow got onto it the first time without doing a high jump. Apparently I can't do it again. Go figure. Oh, what the f... Okay. Fine. I'll high jump the son of a bitch. Because that's obviously what the game is telling me to do right now, instead of trying to just, you know, jump and grab the ledge. There we go. Do the crawl. That way I don't accidentally walk off like an idiot. Now... Nailed it. Okay, and we're back. And time to do some, oh joy! Block puzzles! Everyone's favorite section of Soul Eater. Unfortunately, we can't do any pressing because of the block on top. But all we need to do is just push it off. Now, let's see if I am right. Because I don't know if you actually need to have the picture facing the thing in the wall or not. Because it's a double-sided block. So let's find out if I actually do need to do some flippy dippy or if I can just push it in. Son of a bitch, I need to do some flippy dippy shit. Great. Fortunately though, it's rather easy. All it takes is 3 flips. Up. Whoosh. I did not mean to hold X, whatever. In the gate, she rises. And what's behind the double doors? Ooh. Ah, we're back outside. Excellent. Why'd we go in a fucking circle? Ah, because we needed this block to make a higher jump. Of course, it's obvious. Now, if I could actually just refocus the camera to where I want it to be. I need to push it in. I'm an idiot. What I need to do is crouch and flip. And are we directly... No, we need to move this out some more. Come here. Well, I guess becoming a Rave did at least give us some much needed strength to move these things around. No blood fountain upgrades required. Alright, let's head deeper into Malkaya's fortress, shall we? Well, I call it a fortress, it's more like a bunch of hallways. Oh, hey! River! Oh, you son of... You drown! You son of a bitch! It took you a while to hit the bottom of the lake, didn't it? There's the soul. Thank you for the meal. Now, let's not fall, shall we? Now I forgot to grab my spear. Thankfully though, this scepter will do the job. Stop hitting me, you sack of shit. Give me that. What's up, guys? Ow. how it's supposed to go. 1 or 2 hits and they're dead. Not me getting hit several thousand times. What's up, buddy? Guess what? Fortunately, you can't just hold a fucking stab move. And since we're on a slope, that doesn't work like that. Fighting on a slope is asinine. Thank you. Give me that. Hello, giant machinery. Whether or not... Well, actually, no, not yet. Don't say anything about it yet. But deliver? Does nothing. So, we need to get the machinery turned on. Seriously, through technological means, Kain's empire has discovered the power of steam and coal. Somehow, this fantasy world has discovered the industrial age. And all the problems that come with it. Probably how these rotting, fledgling vampires can survive being outside when there's no sunlight to scorch them. But seriously, sunlight's fatal to fledgling vampires. These guys are weaker than the usual ones. So without the sunlight beaming down on them, they can stay outside. Good for you. The only downside is that you created the ozone layer, you son of a bitch. Oh great, more giant machinery. Fortunately it's easy, just flick a couple switches. Turns back on. That's one switch down. Now, if I remember right, I need to flick this switch over here. It's more of a lever, but you get the point. Somehow that turns everything back on. I don't really understand the why or reason, but it does. Is there anything for me to actually get down there? I don't think there is. Hello, crossbow guy. Guess what? Your soul is mine. And unlike Shang Tsung, I can't transform into another person by doing so. I don't gain their abilities, their life force, their actually not life force, lifespan. All I get is health from it. Amazing. And pull the lever. Now if I remember right... Aha! There it is. We need to progress deeper down because this is a puzzle where we need to move a bunch of blocks and set everything on fire. Fitting. Because we need to get down there, and the only way to do so is by lowering that. Oh wait, I forgot. I actually need to... Yep. Thank you. Ah, damn it, Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah. Bleh, I'm an idiot. Or I forgot. These. Which will burn the pillars. And when all four are burned, they will cause the floor above to come crashing down. Fantastic. 2 down. Now for the third. You know, for having 3 claws, apparently holding on to that scepter while stabbing into a block of stone is pretty impressive. Well, it's impressive keeping it horizontal at least. Thank God we're immune to fire. And we're good. Oh wait, not done yet. Now for the second part of the puzzle. We gotta put every one of these pillars into their designated slot. Which essentially is just a giant which essentially is the corners. Let me just move my camera so you can see what the fuck I'm doing. It's always appreciated to know what you're doing. And there we go. And there's a vampire. Ugh. And I know there's a vampire running around. I really don't care. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. So far, it's simple platforming and simple puzzle solving, but it will get much harder and more tedious as time goes on, I assure you. Then again, I typically suck at these kind of games where I have to rely on puzzle solving and platforming to save my life or progress through. Thud. Oh, I forget which way I'm supposed to go. Where does this lead? I'll just go taking me up instead of down. Down is where Malkia is. Oh, this leads me back up here. There we go. I don't really need this for this upcoming boss fight. Like at all. But, you know what? I'm gonna call it here, because I am over my time frame. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been No God 21. This has been... It's not gonna let me do the thing, is it? Let's try it again. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been No God 21. This has been Let's Play Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. In the next video, we're going to meet our little brother Malkia and see how the centuries have been treating him. But until then, thanks for watching, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see y'all next time.